The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost. The bank for better. Sign up today. I just have a code when you sign up for a new account. Use the, once again, limited time offer. Get a free Res of Terrorist t-shirt when you sign up. Claim your shirt at sportsgambling.com/refs. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's currently Wednesday afternoon, June 11th, here to break down the games for Thursday. It's currently 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm your host, Reichel. Once again, joined by Dylan Rockford. They're going to break down, once again, the games for tomorrow. Dylan, how's it going with you? Decent amount of baseball so far. How's it been treating you?
Well, it's been pretty good till I start talking to you, and then the worst inning from Brandon Wu. I mean, Jesus. But other than that, Pirates keep it rolling. Phillies starting to play a little better. Guardians blew out the Reds, which was nice, and Toronto keeps winning as well. Outside of that, the only game I got wrong were the Brewers. But outside of that, it's pretty good. How about yourself?
Overall, not that great so far. Had some props that didn't work out. It's fine. We'll see what happens. But overall, been an okay day. Not great so far. So I'll see if we can turn that around here for the later slate. Yeah. But do want to ask you, as always, before we officially get started, is there anything you want to talk about?
Nothing. I don't know if you saw, but Anthony Roman, his family, the most Italian family in the world. Did you see them yesterday?
I don't know if it's true, by the way, the rumors, but I heard that his father's name is like Anthony. Is that right?
That would be amazing if it is. I mean, let's be honest. I think his sister was the one who caught all the who went viral yesterday.
That is fair. I'm just saying.
No, I don't know. They look like they belonged in The Sopranos, though.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure his father's name and his brother's name is Anthony.
That's amazing. Anthony Jr. and Anthony Sr.
I guess, but I think so, but that's still kind of like wild.
Would you name your son that if your last name was Anthony?
No, absolutely not. I mean, that's just crazy.
That's crazy. Only Italians.
But either way. Point is, that was one piece of, I'd say, news story that caught my eye.
Yeah.
Because you know how important it is what's the dad's name of this new prospect, and apparently it's the same as his last name. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of it. I didn't really have much else to add there.
I was going to say, do you have anything else you want to talk about? Because there's no real news, I would say, in baseball as of late.
Quickly looking to see if there was anything that really happened in baseball. I saw Clemente actually got passed by McCutchen on the Pirates home run list. So congrats to McCutchen for passing him there. Besides that, did I really see much for baseball worth talking about? I saw that Reagan's on the IL again. What else is new? Yeah, there's a Brewers prospect being called up. Missouri.
He's Missouri.
I'm gonna butcher this.
Yeah.
Mizzy Orowski, who apparently throws like 103. So that should be a pretty fun addition there for the Brewers. We'll see how he does.
Yeah, I think he pitches on tomorrow for Thursday. And the only thing else I saw was, you got to go. It was on Twitter. It was, maybe I could send it to you. But if you go to the White Sox page, did you see Pope Leo wear a White Sox hat?
Well, yeah, he was at the World Series in 2005. So that makes sense.
That's pretty cool. He's a sports guy.
Yes, it is. Unfortunately, he might have to work overtime to try to get the White Sox to be good, because that's going to take
more than overtime.
Divine intervention. That might take a little bit more. Yeah. But yeah, point is, it's definitely pretty fun to have a Pope that's actually somewhat interesting in sports. But yeah, do want to point out before we actually get into the games for the card, a reminder that you can find all of our picks and podcasts in one location. Check out the app, SGPN free app. Get all your free picks and podcasts for the Stanley Cup, College Baseball World Series, and NBA Finals, wherever you get your podcasts. Check out the SGPN app. Moving on, though, to the games here that we have for the Thursday card. First game we are going to talk about is going to be an interesting one between the Nationals and the Mets. You have Soroka, who's actually been pretty good lately, but not the best season, against Senga, who's been really good. Mets have been on fire, and they've won 15 of their last 20. For the over-under, I see 8.5. For the run line in this game, I see Mets minus 1.5 and minus 114. Soroka and the Nationals are at minus 105. I'm just going to go with the Mets. I'm not going to really overthink this. They've been in great form. Senga is good. I'm not the biggest fan of, once again, Soroka in general. Even though he has been better lately, shut down the Rangers. He also did well, I think it was 2 starts ago. Or no, he didn't really do that well, but he got 10 runs of support in the first inning. So I'll go with the once again, option of just backing Senga and fading Soroka because the Mets are at home, and we know they're really good at home. So give them the Mets -1.5.
Yeah, I like the under 8.5 here, -115. Kodai Senga has been dominant at home for the Mets. 113 ERA. The under's cashing 5 of his 6 home starts this season. The one over was when we killed the Rockies the other one of his starts. So don't really count that. Nationals stink on the road, and they really haven't been able to score a lot of runs either. Under is 4-1 in the Nationals' last 5 games. You mentioned Soroka has been a little better as of late. So I just found a really hard time. Both teams scoring a bunch of runs. So Nationals team total under I like, and I like the full game under 8.5. My total came out to 7.4. So yeah, I like the under 8.5 here.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. Moving on to the next game, you have the Rangers against the Twins. Rangers randomly remembered had a hit for the last day or so as they scored, 16 runs yesterday?
Yeah, it was crazy.
So they exploded, which means they're probably not going to score for another month. So we'll see how they look in this one. But for the matchup itself, you have Corbin against Ober. Twins are -165. Rangers are +140. For the over-under, I see 8.5 or 8. Corbin's been fine this season. His ERA is actually better than Ober's. Ober, I think, has been a solid pitcher, especially at home. 3.08 ERA was not great, though, against Toronto last time out, but he has been pretty good and consistently solid for pretty much the entire season. However, the Twins have not been great recently. They have lost 4 of their last 5. The pitching has been kind of a mess lately. They have allowed at least 5 runs in 4 of their last 5. Rangers have won 3 in a row. I get this team's not very good, but -165 is massive when Corbin's been a similar type pitcher to Ober this season based on effectiveness. I'll go with the Rangers. I think this price is insane.
Yeah, I only made the Rangers a -145 favorite. So, yeah, I think -162 that I'm seeing is like kind of the best price for the Twins. That's ridiculous. I like the over. Another total for me, over 8 at -115. My total came out to 8.9. Honestly, I just feel like the total is just a tad low. Looking at some of the games the Twins have been involved in lately, 8-2 towards the over, including going over this total in 5 straight games. Texas, you mentioned it at the top. They're swinging a hot bat as of late. They hit righties much better than they do lefties. Twins at home, they swing a nice bat, 250 on the year as well. So against Corbin, who, yeah, he's been okay, but he has given up 2+ runs in 8 of his last 9 starts. So I think both teams are going to be able to score here. I agree with you. I think the price on the Twins is a little egregious. I don't care that they're at home, but yeah, I would actually side with the Rangers here. And like I said, I made my total 8.9, so I do like the over.
Yeah, I think it's a situation where it's pretty, I'd say, interesting to evaluate these teams. It goes by the classic baseball, I'd say, controversy. Which body of work do you care more about? Do you care about like the full season, or do you care about the last week? Because baseball, when it comes to betting, is a lot of what have you done for me lately type of sport. And the Twins have done nothing for anybody lately over the last week or two. And the Rangers haven't been good, but at least they've won 3 in a row. That counts for something. I just think the price is too big. So
I agree.
Give me the Rangers on that one. Moving on to the Giants against the Rockies. A nice job by the Rockies bullpen blowing that game. Keeps the tank alive. I believe they cannot even own their a top 10 pick in the draft this coming season. So they're tanking for nothing. But they found a way to blow a 3-run lead in the ninth inning?
Why can't they have a top 10? I don't know.
I forgot the exact rules, but they're in some type of certain draft pick purgatory where they can't pick within the top 10. But let me actually look that up. But I'll get into that right after I introduce the game. So Senzatella is pitching against the Giants. I mean, you have Birdsong pitching for the Giants, who was not great last outing, but he's still been good overall. Senzatella was good after an opener against the Mets, but he's been bad in general all season. Giants, though, -215. Rockies, +180. For the run line, you can find the Giants at around -134. For the over-under, I see 11. Now, Chapman was on the IL. They announced that earlier yesterday. They won anyway, but it was not pretty how they won the game yesterday. I'll ask you for this one because I can't really back the Rockies. I know Senzatella was decent last outing. Mets had a lot of guys on base. They just couldn't get anybody home when he was pitching. And they won the game anyway because the Rockies bullpen fell apart. So I'll go with the Giants -1.5.
Yeah, -137 too. I was surprised to get that, I guess, fair of a line with the Giants on the run line. Maybe if you're a parlay player, maybe add them in your parlay, but I think it's definitely playable at -137. They've only covered the run line at home 11 times this season. And Antonio Senzatella, I mean, it's just it's hard to see the Rockies being competitive here with him on the mound. He's terrible at home, 6.55 ERA. Batter's hitting 333 off of him. He's given up 4+ runs in 4 of his last 5 home starts, and all 4 of those games skied over this total as well. So I don't know. And those 4 of the 5 starts, they've all lost by 2 or more runs. The last time the Rockies won a single start for Senzatella was back on 420. Shout out 420. But on the road, the bats has been much better for the Giants this season. They're playing good baseball. I think they win very sizably here. So I agree. -1.5 for the Giants.
By the way, I looked up while you were discussing the game the actual rules regarding the draft and why the Rockies actually can draft in the top 10. It says that according to the revenue sharing and lottery participation, there's some anti-tanking rules that are now in place. And according to the rules, apparently revenue sharing teams like the Rockies cannot receive a lottery pick for 3 straight seasons. So a lottery pick is one of the top 6 selections, but it says the Rockies are ineligible for a lottery pick in 2026, meaning their highest possible selection is 10th overall. So they cannot finish top 9.
Is this the 3rd year of it?
It's the Rockies, so it's probably the 50th year of it. But yeah, I don't know when they added the anti-tanking rules, but the Rockies might be one of the worst teams of all time, and they cannot draft within the top 9. They can be top 10, so I stand corrected, but they cannot be top 9.
Do they have a lot of money?
The Rockies? I mean, they don't spend any of it, so I'm sure.
That's my question. You never see them go and try to make a big splash. So does anyone really want to go there anyway? They're terrible.
I think it's more based on poor ownership, because I think that the Rockies owner just wants to make money and doesn't actually want to invest in the team. Kind of like Pittsburgh.
Kind of like the White Sox, too, Reinsdorf.
Yeah. I mean, Reinsdorf's also a bit different because he also owns multiple teams.
Yeah.
But he's done nothing with multiple teams, too, so I can't even use that as an excuse. But people don't like the Pirates owner because he doesn't do anything.
No.
You're looking at the Rockies owner. He doesn't do anything. Once again, they traded away Arenado and gave away $50 million, which is pretty funny. And they also signed Chris Bryant, who has been basically awful.
Wait,
he might
Scott,
end up retiring.
Are you reading these comments? They're calling you 420. They said you're more of a perk guy.
I think I've smoked weed one time in the last 7 years. One time.
Are you an edible guy?
I've done an edible or 2 before. The first one didn't work, so I'm like, this is just stupid. The second one worked. The first one did not.
I'm telling you, the first time I ever took an edible back in college, you're like, damn, it's not working. And you're sitting on the couch with your boys. And
it hits you all at once.
And then it hits you all of a sudden. You're like, fuck, the whole day.
The first time I remember that I took an edible, my friend had an older sister, and she had some just leftover edibles, I guess, so she just gave 2 to us. So we had the genius idea of taking an edible and then going to the local park to play basketball.
Oh, wow. Not smart.
We just thought, why not? We'll just see what happens. So, I don't know. We thought it'd be a fun idea.
Honestly, that's the best high, when you're not, slumped, when you want to be active and go.
That was kind of the point, is that we were hoping it would prevent us from just being comatose. But either way, we get to the park. We start playing basketball. We finish 2 full games of basketball, and we feel nothing. We feel absolutely nothing. They were just complete duds. I just basically ate a gummy bear and played 2 games of basketball in the local parks. That was it. There was no story behind that. That was just all we had.
That's great.
It was
but you're not opposed
to what? To weed?
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to it. I'm just not. I don't really need it.
Yeah.
I'm just fine. But then I ended up splitting. I split a J with. We did a fantasy football meetup every single year. Nice. We have a tradition. The winner of our league that basically we all go to dinner.
Oh, nice.
And the champion basically just pays the bill, but it's kind of just it's just for fun, whatever. But they're not causing them any money because we're all paying for the meal indirectly.
Yeah.
So we just went, and then they walk outside. They're like, yeah, we're gonna smoke a J before the actual meal. You want to join? I'm like, sure, why not?
Sure.
So ended up splitting a J. That's kind of how that went. But that's the only weed I've been smoking for the last 7 years, give or take.
That's weed talk from Scott.
Yeah, it's not even 420. It's actually June.
Yeah,
and it's not even 20 yet. But yeah, what about you? Were you more of a weed guy in college?
I was, but my problem was I did it a little too much, and my whole day was ruined. And
okay.
I would sit there and I would get nothing accomplished, and yeah, not anymore. I haven't smoked weed in years, but I was.
I never got to that point. I was always I'll do it occasionally with friends if they offer, but I'm not dying to have my own supply. Never had my own supply.
Yeah.
Never did. So it was always a social thing for me.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, I agree. So
And then once you left college, it's like, why the hell would I ever
why
do
why
this?
I was like, why did I waste so much money and time?
Oh, no, I meant after. It was all social. So once you like leave college and you actually, have a life, it's
Yeah.
like, why would I bother like trying to do this like every day or a couple times a day? I just don't have the need for it. I just don't bother.
Yeah. No, I feel
But
that.
so that's kind of where I'm at. But
Daniel said he loves the weed segment, so we might have to incorporate this moving forward.
only for Rockies games though in Coors.
Yeah.
It has to be in Colorado. But I've had friends that have like driven to Colorado and gotten weed and driven back. And I'm like, that's a bit too extreme for me.
Trevor makes a great point because I know so many people. He goes, I smoked weed every day for 13 years and then just stopped one day for no reason. I know so many people that are like that. Just like one day, just woke up and like,
I think it's one
yeah,
day
I'm done.
you're like, yeah, why am I doing this? And you're just done.
Yeah.
I was more of an alcohol guy in college, to be honest.
The dreams get crazy though.
Yes,
And
that is true.
the dreams get crazy, but
Yeah, because you sleep like crazy and you wake up and it's only been 2 hours and you feel like you slept for 9. You know what the hell's happening.
yeah.
But no, the worst is when you fall asleep high. You feel like you took a 9 hour like sleep. You wake up, it's like an hour and a half later, and you're still high, and you're like, "What am I supposed to do now?"
That's the worst.
It's the worst. You know what you're supposed to do?
I don't know what to do, and
No,
I
you're
just
just
lay in my
stuck.
bed. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. You're just stuck. So you're kind of just in this type of like semi coma, and you're just stuck there. So yeah, that's not a fun time either. But
No.
I'll ask you a last point though.
Yeah.
High snack. What's your choice?
Oh, I am a huge Cheez-It guy.
Okay.
Cheez-It, and like I like dark chocolate. So they're like dark chocolate covered pretzels. Those are like my go-to. It was like a Cheez-It and a pretzel of some sort, like a chocolate covered
Together,
pretzel.
or were you chasing the Cheez-Its with the chocolate?
Both.
Both? Okay.
It got crazy.
All right. Okay.
How about you?
I was always more of a Doritos guy. I was a chips guy.
Oh, I love the Cool Ranches.
Most underrated flavor, purple bag, spicy sweet chili.
So what I was gonna say that I like the spicy, just the original spicy,
Yeah.
but the Cool Ranch is my favorite.
Big fan of the purple bag, the spicy sweet chili.
Yeah, that's
very
underrated. Yeah, and
But
they have great commercials.
Yes, they do. But I was always a chips guy when it came to smoking. So
Wow. People are loving this segment.
well, we got to segue into cocaine, which I've never tried, by the way, so I actually can't even like give a comment about it. I could if I did it, but I honestly have not. I was offered one time, but I was actually offered a couple of times in the club.
Wow, we got cocaine in the chat now.
Well,
this is
it was going to escalate, but I was offered twice, and I turned it down both times.
Zero. Never done it. I
wasn't about doing it. I said offered.
Oh, okay.
I was offered twice.
I've done acid a few times in college, but
I had a friend that was selling acid in college.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never done shrooms. Daniel's talking about shrooms. I'm allergic to mushrooms. So
really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so yeah, never been able to do it. So
yeah.
Everyone's like, cocaine's a good time.
I mean, look, the only thing I'll say about it, not
This
trying to
is
encourage
crazy.
drug use here.
Yeah,
I did hear that cocaine might be fine now, but I heard it used to be a lot better in the 80s when it was going straight from like Colombia. Basically, like shout out to Miami Vice Miami. I heard the quality has been drastically deteriorating in the market. And not that that's not why I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But I heard that it used to be a lot more pure. That's what I heard.
I just hear so many fucking, especially like working in the streets of like the Bronx and Brooklyn and kind of like dangerous areas sometimes. You hear of all like these fentanyl being
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these dealers are cutting corners and they're trying to like make it cheaper to sell. And that's what happened to Mac Miller. It wasn't cocaine.
Yeah.
It was the same type of thing. It was cut with fentanyl and he died. So
that's why I would never do it. I don't trust.
No, I don't either. You don't know where they got it from.
No, exactly. So
there
wow, we spent 10 minutes on this. I didn't expect this today.
No, the one last story that I'll actually tell is that I was in Vegas, and classic cocaine Vegas story. And I went to see Aoki. Aoki was doing it was in BetMGM. MGM. What the hell is the name of the club there? Wasn't Hakkasan. Was it Hakkasan Club? Is that a club? Vegas. Either way. Point is, he showed up like an hour and a half late. He shows up like 1 a.m. So I'm like, I found a place on the railing. I'm just like listening to whatever. I don't have to be up close right in front of him. We got there eventually. But some guy in front of me is like grinding on this girl. And he just bumps into me. Like ricochets right into me and slams into me. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm like, no, it's okay. He's like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. He's like, you want to do a line? I'm like, no, I'm okay. But I knew him for about 20 seconds, and he offered me a line as like a truce for bumping into me. I'm like, no, we're good. Like, you don't have to offer. I appreciate the offer, though. I thought it was pretty kind, but I didn't partake.
Especially since it's expensive. Very kind.
That's what I'm saying. In this economy, no, he was very thoughtful. I just wasn't interested. But that I knew him for 20 seconds, and he offered me a line.
That guy.
So shout out to that guy, some Asian guy who I didn't get the name of. Shout out to him. But anyway, moving back on to the actual card, we got the Giants run line, right? And
yeah, we got that. That's what happens when we're talking Rockies.
Pretty much. But I forgot, you wanted the over or the under?
I don't care. I like the run line for the Giants.
Yeah. I kind of have to agree with you that the Rockies are a fake team. Moving on to the Tigers against the Orioles. For this one, you have a match between Skubal and Kramer. This is not going to take long. Tigers are minus 180. Orioles are plus 150. For the over-under, I see 8. Tigers minus 1.5. I mean, I don't know how I'm supposed to go with something different. It's minus 110.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say a little more.
No, I said it was going to take a short amount of time. You got Skubal pitching, and it's minus 110.
I can't believe I don't know if you see on FanDuel, but earlier I saw an 8.5.
Okay.
That was ridiculous for me. My total came out to 7.3. I thought that was insane with how good Tarek Skubal's been this season. Both teams I think are playing well, but for how good he's been, and they haven't really been scoring a bunch of runs either. The under 9-1 in the Orioles' last 10, going under in 4 of their last 5. Tigers are 7-3 towards the under in their last 10, including 5 straight under. So I just don't see how the Orioles score here. They stink against lefties. The unders cashed in all 3 his last 3 starts for Skubal. He's been dominant. So yeah, Tigers minus 1.5, and I also like the under 8.5.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, you have the Yankees against the Royals. For this one, you have a match between Warren and Lugo. For this one, the Yankees minus 150, the Royals are plus 125. Warren had a bad start to the season, then he figured it out, and then he became bad again. Last 2 starts, 11 earned runs, so not exactly ideal. But the Yankees have actually given him some run support, as the Yankees have won a decent amount of his last few outings. They have won 5 of the last 6 that he's appeared in. Now, Lugo is the better pitcher. But the question is, Kansas City hit enough to actually win this game? The over-under in this game is at, I see 9. I like the under in this game. I think Warren might pitch okay, but it's mostly daring Kansas City to do anything offensively. And I think Lugo can go good enough to limit this Yankees offense. They exploded in the first game. Judge had a home run. You had Wells, who was batting in the 9 spot, who had 5 RBIs. So I'm not going to read too much into it. Give me the under in this game. I think 9 is a bit too high.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the home puppy here, plus 115 for the Royals. My numbers actually made him a minus 105 favorite. To be honest, I'm just not a Will Warren fan. He stinks on the road, 6.54 ERA, and he couldn't even get out of the first inning in his last start against the Dodgers. I think I think it just left a really bad taste in my mouth, and I really don't want anything to do with him on the road. I know the Royals aren't the best hitting team, but they are better against righties. They don't strike out. I think they're disciplined at the plate. Royals, they also have the better bullpen as well, where I think the Yankees' pen has struggled recently. So I'm going to trust Lugo here at home, plus 115. I think the value is with the Royals.
Yep. Before we get into the other games on the card for Thursday, a reminder they're brought to you by our sponsor, which is trying to pull up the first one, Edge Boost. The first, our bank account for bettors, ensuring that our transactions are approved, nuisance fees and minimum cash records are well. As an approval, fraud and deposit sign up today at SGPN. When we sign up, you can also get a Riffs or Terrace t-shirt for free. Go to sportsgaming.com/refs to claim your free shirt. We're also brought to you by Circa because they are still hosting the Ultimate Fantasy Football giveaway because they are giving away a 12-person league experience to draft in Vegas, maturity VIPs for your stay. You'll get a limo ride from the airport, 5K tab for stadium swim, and a hotel stay for you and your 11 league mates. Also, you can get 15% off everything at the Circa properties by using the promo code SGP15. Enter the contest for free at sportsgaming.com/Circa, sportsgaming.com/CIRCA. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the first couple games on the card for Thursday. Time to move on into the next game. Cardinals against the Brewers, which should be a pretty interesting series because both teams have been pretty good. But you're looking at the numbers here for both teams. The Cardinals are over 500. Milwaukee is also. They're actually half a game separated, but the Cardinals do have a game in hand for now. They officially lost today, so they still have a game in hand. Point is, though, you have Gray against the brand new guy that we just talked about earlier in the show. with Misiorowski, who's pitching for the Brewers, who's got a lot of really nasty stuff. Will he be good? I don't know, but he can throw about 103. So that's a pretty good sign for young prospects. Feels like every prospect in the Major League Baseball or basketball was made in a lab, and you wonder like how the hell they got that athletic. I remember when you like throwing 95 as a prospect was like, damn, this guy can actually throw pretty hard. And now you see guys that are like 17, 18. It's like, yeah, he's throwing a 102 in single A. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, how do you even do that? But yeah, I don't really understand it. But either way, I was going to say dynamic training, but that too. Shout out to Tommy John surgeons making a lot of money all over the world. But anyway, a lot of money. Point is, though, you're looking at what should be a fun matchup. Gray's been really good lately, and this new guy could be good. The Cardinals, they're minus 130. Brewers are plus 110. For the over-under in this game, I see it at 7.5 or 8. Selective recall tells me Gray usually pitches well against Milwaukee. At least I think he does, but I do want to look at the research to back that up. Milwaukee's active batters have been fine. 250 against him, 302 batting average, 302 on base, I mean. So he's been pretty good against the team. I like the under in the game. I see a lower scoring game. It's at 8. Cardinals had a very high scoring series against Toronto. Did not really go in their favor, but the offense scored 2 runs today. I think that this new guy could go pretty well. I trust Gray in the game. I'll go Cardinals in the under.
Yeah, I thought this game was the toughest one to handicap because, and probably I won't have any action on it, but I want to take the Cardinals, but my numbers only made them a minus 110 favorite. And to be honest, I really haven't liked what I've seen out of the Cardinals lately either, though. That's the thing. They lost again today. The Brewers are playing better. The Cardinals still struggle on the road, but then again, to your point, I think Sonny Gray has been dealing the last 4 or 5 games. So I don't know. I don't like the recent form of the team, but I do trust Sonny Gray much more than, this new kid. I'm going to call him Jacob. But he does throw hard. I was watching some videos. Kid has some stuff. But
I don't know how many pitches he has. I saw the fastball and I saw the slider. I don't know if he has anything else.
But still, if you can't hit 103,
yeah,
he might.
I saw the slider was like 86 too. So there's a lot of speed differential there with those two pitches.
Cardinals are a good hitting team, though. I think this might be a tough task, and I don't know how long he'll go in the game either. That's also a worry of mine. And
I'm assuming it's like most debuts. You'll let him go until he's in trouble, and then you'll pull him.
And I really don't trust the Brewers bullpen either. They're not the best either. They're a bottom 10 in the league. So I don't know. I guess I could just trust my eyes. I guess I'll take the Cardinals and Sonny Gray just because I trust Sonny Gray a little more here. I think he's been dealing. So no real feel on the game. This one was tough for me.
Yeah, shut down the Dodgers last start.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive. But either way, I think I agree with you about the Cardinals, and I'll go under, but I'm not going to bet that for this game. Moving on to the Pirates against the Cubs. Cubs did lose today. Luzardo was really, really good. I struck out 10 guys in 6 innings. Pete Crow-Armstrong didn't play, though, because he was a lefty on the mound, so just keep that in mind. For this game, though, you have Heaney, so we'll see if Armstrong gets the day off again for this game against Tyone. Cubs minus 190. Pirates have been surging. They're plus 160 for this game. And the over-under's at 7.5. For this matchup, I think I'll back the hot hand here. I'll go with the Pirates. I think that the Cubs are the better team, obviously, and they are at home. Pirates not good on the road. Yes, it was also against Miami, so not exactly great competition, but the Pirates have played pretty well. Heaney, I think, has been solid this season. Tyone, I'm not a fan of, but I think it's pricing. Minus 190 is too big. Give me the Pirates at plus 160.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I love backing Andrew Heaney in the first 5 plus a half a run. Usually we get it because the Pirates are usually an underdog when he's playing. And usually when I back them, they're not playing well, but they're actually playing pretty well. They won again today, 5 of their last 6. And 6 road starts for Heaney. He's only given up more than 2 runs one time. He's only had 1 bad start. I think he's the better pitcher of the two, if I'm being honest. Other than that, obviously, the Cubs are the better team as a whole, but I trust the Pirates. I think he'll be able to limit the Cubs here the first few times through the lineup. So Cubs haven't been crushing the ball as of late either. I think the offense has kind of died down a little bit, but I don't know. I think the Buccos are live here in the first 5. I'll take them plus a half a run.
Yeah, I think the reason why I keep going to him is because he's been good in the first 5 innings of a lot of starts.
Exactly.
So I'm fine with that too. Tyone has been fine. He can get shelled occasionally. But once again, you might not see any Armstrong because he doesn't really bat against lefties that much. So we'll see what happens. I'm assuming he'll play. I just can't imagine him being that good of a player.
He's a stud, though.
And you bench him back-to-back days. I'm assuming he will be playing in this one, but I still like Heaney in this matchup. Moving on to the next game, you have the White Sox against the Astros. Now, for this game, final game on the card, you have Martin against Valdez. Houston's minus 240. You have the White Sox at plus 200. For the over-under, I see 7.5. White Sox have been fine lately. I'm not going to say good, but if you've been backing them, you've actually made some money recently. So that's something worth mentioning. But you're looking at the Astros minus 1.5 and minus 110. The White Sox are minus 110 the other way for the plus 1.5. I don't like this entire division, but the Astros are the best of the bad teams in this division.
That's fair.
But they're 6 over. They find ways to win games. They're unimpressive most of the time, but they find ways to win. I think I like the under, but I'll actually go with the Astros minus 1.5. Valdez has been great. 2.2 ERA at home. He's given up less than 3 earned in 3 straight. He's had 20 strikeouts in his last 2 starts combined. I think Valdez shoves here. I'll go Houston minus 1.5.
Yeah, another game where I really don't love anything, but if you had to bet on it, I actually would take maybe the over or lean over 7.5. My total came out to 7.9. I don't want parts of either side. I know the White Sox, like you mentioned, they've been kind of pesky the past 5 games. They're actually scoring some runs too, but I guess what it came down to is I really didn't trust Davis Martin on the road. He hasn't been the best. The overs cashed in 4 of his last 6 starts. And Houston really hits at home, 274 on the year. White Sox, they aren't terrible against left-handed pitchers either. I do think Framber Valdez will be able to shove, but I think both teams will be able to score some runs here. So 7.5, if anything, but don't love the game.
Yeah, kind of where I'm at too. But just based on Valdez, I'll back him. He's been in good form.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for all the games on the card for the Thursday slate. Before we get into the lock and dog plays for the show, reminder they're brought to you by our sponsor, which is Underdog, because Underdog Fantasy is still going along for the NBA Finals with their extender bonus. Hop in game 1 along the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. And when you do sign up for an account, use the code MLB SGPN to get a special pick and a first-time deposit offer up to $1K in bonus cash on fantasy promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm, because you've heard us talk about them before. They just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. Add detected patterns, where the Rhythm models will help you make a lot of money because they consistently win, have a high ROI. They also update them every day, so check out the Power Trends on Rhythm, exclusive to Rhythm. Download the app, check out Power Trends, start betting smarter, and a reminder, try it for free for a week by using the free trial. Use the link sportsgamblers.com/rhythm, sportsgamblers.com/RETHMM to get your 7-day free trial. We're also brought to you by MyBookie, because MyBookie is the place for every sport. They have the NBA Finals, they have the Stanley Cup, they have baseball, they have UFC, they have really anything you can think of. They also are available in a ton of locations. Use crypto for just payouts. Use a positive Santo for an account. Use the code SGPN to get a 1 Santos match up to 1K. Terms and conditions of MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through all the games on the card for Thursday. Not a lot of games, but still some, so enough to do an episode. Dylan, what's going to be your lock and dog for the show?
Yeah, I'll start with my lock, and I'm going to go to the very top first game we talked about, Mets Nationals, under 8.5. I think the number is just extremely high for Kodai Senga, who's been dominant at home, 1.13 ERA. 5 of his last home starts have cashed the under, and I think the Nationals stink on the road. I don't think they're going to be able to score a bunch of runs, and Mike Soroka has been a little better recently. So, yeah, I like the under 8.5 as my lock. As my dog, I really haven't given. Oh, yeah, give me the home puppy. Give me the Royals here. Plus 115. I think this is just basically a fade on Will Warren. Royals, they're pretty solid here at home. I know they're not the best hitting team, but they are a little better against righties. I think they're disciplined at the plate as well. So I think they'll be able to get to them, and I'm going to trust Seth Lugo in that bullpen at home. So, yeah, plus 115. Give me the Royals.
Yeah, for my lock, it's going to be involving the Tigers. I'm just wondering if I want to go for the first 5 or if I want to go for the full game minus 1.5. Let me just see what Kramer's numbers are recently. I'm assuming they're not very good, but let me just at least confirm that. He has been quite good at home, though. Did give up 5 earned last start, though, but at home he's been fine. You know what? I'll go full game. They're the better team anyway. Then they should find some separation here against Baltimore over the 9 innings. Give me the Tigers minus 1.5 at minus 110. They're the road team. They have Screwball pitching, and Kramer's not very good. I'll go with the value here, for my opinion, which is backing the best pitcher in the league at minus 110 against a pretty bad team. Give me that as my lock. For my dog, I'll go with Texas, actually. I'll take him on money line at plus 140. Massive price. Minnesota's not been good lately. They have lost 4 of their last 5. Ober's been fine. So has Corbin. I think both pitchers have been pretty similar in terms of success. So give me a team in better form right now. I think it's a good spot. Rangers do the better bullpen. So the game does go distance. They actually have an edge in that area. But either way, give me the Rangers money line at plus 140 as my dog. That's going to wrap it up, though, for the show. Dylan, anything else you want to add?
No, just hope you guys enjoyed the We Talk. Other than that, good luck on your plays. And I think we're back at it tomorrow as well.
Yep, we'll be back tomorrow. I'll have more games tomorrow, too, because it's going to be the Friday slate. Till next time, find me on Twitter, RH Radio. Find him on Twitter at Rock with 2Ks24. Till next time, good luck to all of you and all of